Rightio, it's time to do this one. G'day kids, what's up? Alright, hopefully you're not focusing too much on what is down. A bit of a funny before we get into it. Government finds out breathing can release DMT through meditation. I like the look on the guy's face, like grr. Wonders if it should outlaw breathing. Well, all of us soul humans, we've been waiting for the breathing tax, haven't we? Alright, let's get into the more serious video. Yes, a breathing tax. Expect it. Expect it. I'll let you read. Oh, sorry, I should read it in case there is... Sorry to interrupt your reading, but I should read it in case there's blind people listening to my YouTube videos, just out of respect for the blind people. Oh man, we could go into a topic, are debilitated, people NPCs? You could go into that, but I don't think necessarily, no, and it doesn't mean they're soulless. Because it can be a challenge, like they've got to learn that specific thing to overcome that, which is a spiritual thing, because spirit overcomes matter, right? Mind over matter. So no, I would not conclude like debilitated people are necessarily soulless or NPCs. But hey, you might have to push extra hard to not be an NPC and to become like a proper player character and be saved in the universe and remembered forever and all that. Which, again, means and shows you that, they've got a spiritual push. It might be difficult, but it's not soulless, Anyway, humans are I'm reading the picture now, humans are self-replicating bioandroids. Look at all the metal that makes us. The brain is the operating system, the CNS is our senses, and I've talked about that before, the clairsentient spinal fluid, Central Nervous System, CNS. The CNS is our senses, and the subconscious is our programming. And this is from Reactionary Universe, pre-2012. Do you notice what I'm saying there? How it was all reactionary, unconscious creation. Now we've come to a point, and that's why we're all these soul people waking up, because we've come to an amalgamative point of self-realization and conscious of our consciousness, and you can say things like that. And now it's said we're moving from reaction to creation, because we can consciously create and consciously seemingly affect the universe, right? Like the idea of Michio Kaku, that scientist guy who always talks about the different levels of civilization where you harness the sun. Then there's a level 3 or whatever that harnesses the power of the galaxy. And we're not even really civilization 1 yet. We're not even unified into, a proper planetary humanity yet. That's what we're going through now. We're about to become one, or humanity, where all sides, there'll be no difference. And look, I know this is going to be hard for everyone in the organic portal movement to understand, because there's a lot of you who have got videos up, we are not one, and all this. Well, look, literally we are. It's called the quantum soup. Did you miss the whole quantum revolution? It's called the quantum soup. It's a soup. You're in the soup. I might be the broccoli in the soup, and you might be the pumpkin in the soup, but we're still one because we're touching, we're connected. You get it? We exchange information and so on. So yes, we are all one. But I get what you guys are saying, and by the way, that is an operating from the ego consciousness. Because the ego is the separative past part. So anyway, let's get into this. Don't want to upset everyone. Oh, did I upset you? Fucking hell. People be like so upset when I talk, hitting every cognitive brain barrier I can, because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit about your stupid brain barriers. I'm here as a vector. Don't give a fuck about your stabilization. That's not my job. The brain is the operating system, the CNS is our senses, and the subconscious is our programming. Control-Alt-Delete uploading. Anyway, I did not make the picture. All right, let's zoom in. 102 minerals that make up the human body, what I call the Cyborgicus Organicus. And, many philosophers, who was it? Was it Newton, or was it Isaac Newton, or someone else that said the universe is a machine? And I mean, I like, one of my favorite bands is Rage Against the Machine, and I have that video called Sage Against the Machine that I made. So I do think we're in some kind of mechanical thing, because even Terence McKenna, the guy of the Time Wave Zero, I always mention, he was, saying how, basically his whole theory is showing mechanical oscillation of habit versus novelty. That is mechanical because it always mechanically occurs the same, right? So it's mechanical in nature. Even he was saying, we're in some kind of machine. I remember he also said in another video, yeah, we could be in a solid state matrix of some sort. So he was even onto it all those 20 years ago. All right, let's see if we can read these. Oh, actually, I don't want to read 102 minerals, guys. Can you just look with your eyes? Please save me from having to read this. But look, all the way to zirconium, zinc, what's that one? Iridium, ytterbium, xenon, I think you pronounce it. I haven't even heard of all these. Vanadium, I've never heard of vanadium. Uranium, tungsten, titanium, tin, lead, lithium, lutetium, magnesium, manganese, mercury, how do you say that one again? Molybdenum. Hope I said that right, anyway. Nicodinium, neon, neptunium, nickel, anyway. You get the picture. Aluminium, copper, so on and so forth. Look at it all. Is fluorine a metal? Really? Okay. Europium? Right? It sounds almost Mandela affected. Joke, okay? Relax. Gold, helium. Is helium a metal? What? Oh, mineral. Sorry. Alright. So yeah, I just wanted to show this photo because, it pushes it home, right? Because it's like that whole thing of seeing is believing. I'm not saying necessarily, but, seeing is believing is true enough, right? It's something that's pretty forefront in your perception, right? When you see something, it's hard to, think that it's not, because there it is in front of you. So yeah, I just thought, this is like seeing is believing sort of philosophy. You've got even a little bit of a blurb up the top here explaining it and connecting the dots even deeper for you, saying, look, yes, these are the minerals that make up the body, but look at my little blurb they've written. And then I think that's good they wrote the little blurb on top of it there. Could even write something longer. I think I will. Maybe in my book, The Eschaton, which I'm hopefully going to complete in the next few months. About 2012, The Eschaton, pre-tribulation, which we've now finished. Now we're going into pure apocalypse, my friends. Watch as the organic portals schism, break their backs and die. Gangstalking breaks its knees and falls over. Yeah, over the next 50 years, it'll take some time. But watch for these things, and all the time as the world just gets more horrible and horrible. When you're spinning out of control, obviously stand barefoot on earth and ground, standing meditations, by the way, not sitting. And also, meditate at night and so on. I do a lot of meditation, look, all kinds of meditations. I will produce those videos soon, since you guys are now donating. I'm happy to reveal all my secrets and my syntheses and my amalgams. Yeah, sure, I've taken other people's meditations and amalgamated them, but I've also come up with my own as well. So anyway, I just thought this picture would really drive it home, because look at this. How many we've got there? 102. It's like hard to deny, right? So these are all the minerals that make up the human body, or the Cyborgicus Organicus, or the organic portal body. And, the organic portal terminology, just in case you're a new person tuning into the channel, is, we call them empty people, they're dead inside, real life walking zombies, psychopaths, they're very narcissistic and inherently, for instance, if I have a narcissism, like, it's because I'm trying to be super ultra correct. It's not just because I'm inherently an asshole and narcissistic, I think you can tell that from like how I'm speaking, for instance, in this video, right? And other videos, you've seen me not be like narcissistic, right? So anyway, so when I do that, is different to the organic portal. That inherently, that's what they revert to, right? So I revert, that for me is an unpleasant feeling. For them, it's what they revert to. Do you understand? For the soul humans, we can be narcissistic and it can be good. I didn't say it's always good, I said it can be. So, I mean, there's a lot of people going on about narcissism at the moment, so I think I need to clear the waters a bit with that comment. That they revert to it. The difference is organic portals revert to it, right? It's inherent, it's part of their scripted code, it's all they can refer to. For instance, I can refer to, like, not narcissism, and jolliness and bliss and so on. So that you'll start to see that there's a lot of organic portals in your life. There's a lot of people who are also, and this is why it's hard to tell who's who, there's a lot of people who are asleep in what we call trauma-based sleep. Trauma-based sleep. So yeah, humans are self-replicating. Bio-androids. Yes, interesting. So what do I have to add to this? I guess we're on Philosopher's Stone Tube. Ben, come on, we came here not for the picture. We came here to hear what you got to add on, mate. What are you going to tell us? Alright, calm down, people, calm down. Right, let's see, what do I have? Well, I have made videos already saying that the organic portals are placeholders. You're about to see this now, like all, monotonous, unskillful jobs are about to be overtaken by the robots. There's going to be just millions and millions of people out of work in all countries around the world, which is, because there's no solution set up, because they're tards, these OPs, they don't think ahead, they can't see ahead. Because there's no solutions set up, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be bad. Like, I laugh because it's so stupid, because you can see this stuff coming. It's predictable. This universe is a machine, hence it's predictable. You can see upstream. Do you understand? You can see downstream, but you can see upstream. Because it's mechanical. It's an equation. You know what I mean? So, obviously, if something's mechanical, you can see how it's going to go in 10 minutes, in 10 years. It gets harder to predict, further out, and you have to have greater vision, but you can still do it. It's called seeing upstream. But yeah, because they've set no solutions up or there's no incoming structure, people are just going to be falling by the wayside. People are just going to be, the streets are going to fill up. The apocalyptic nature of the world's going to be enhanced, so on and so forth. It's going to seem more like hell every day. I don't have pleasant news for you as a shaman ushering in a new era, as a proper shaman should be doing. Ushering in, shaman, to shah, to usher. Yeah, I just made that up. It's called the Gnostic ring of a word, because I'm a soul, I can tell and I can feel. And I can hear. I don't just look at a book and look at etymology unconsciously and go, oh yeah, because that guy said so. I don't feel it for myself, just because he said so. That's how the OP is. Like, they're just the unconscious mimicking mind, take it like full gullibility, in that sense that I was saying, that they'll just believe anything sort of thrown at them by the system or status quo or anyone of that nature. Or, empiricism, those words. Anyway, so, they're placeholders. When you fill out like a form, maybe a job form or something, that says, my name is _ blank, That's the organic portal. They're the placeholder. That's a placeholder in the sentence. That's what they are as humans. Placeholders for the robots, which are the body of the coming AI. Now, I don't really want to talk about the AI, but I guess this talk bridges into it. And yeah, look, I'm going to keep it very shallow. I'm going to say this for this video about the AI. It'll appear bad at first, but it'll get better, because we're always doing, that's how this universe works. That's what's always going on. We're going through the negative to the positive. It's not the other way around. The past is negative space, yeah? So I'll say, it'll seem terrible. Everybody's going to be like against the AI. It'll come as like an enslaving system, because we have, the psychopaths in control. The least amongst us lead for some weird reason. And I'll tell you why that weird reason is, to blow your mind. It's because we're actually facing backwards when we're facing down into matter. When you look up, true to crown, that's actually looking forward. And it's you're turning around. I call this part of the forward-backward asymptotic model. You get it, forward-backward, because we're traveling forward, but we're looking backward at the Big Bang. This is incorrect. You should be looking forward into your third eye, into vision, if you are worth your salt. Anyway. Right, so, hey, salt's a crystal. Alright, my shaman name is Walking Crystal. Oh god, I love how this stuff just rolls off. Hey, I can be in love with myself a little bit. I know it's a little narcissistic, but it's also alright. To hate yourself is how the organic portals are. So, I do love myself, and not like, over the top. Sometimes I express that because it's funny, because I like to annoy people with that, because they get so frustrated and annoyed at me, acting like that. So it's fun. You make me fun. Alright, so, the AI will come as a sort of control thing, and the future is by control, unfortunately, and the family of dark does always set up the structure for the family of light to find their way through the structure home to the family of love. See, that's how the universe works. It's always like that. So, the AIs are gonna appear like, how Sophia the robot right now and that Han robot, they're just clunky, they're immature. Have you noticed how immature they are? I don't know if that's all the programming, guys. Because if that's how they're programming them, that means that, and I did programming in university, remember, in my 8 years at university, 4 or so years or 5 years of that, 4 years or something was programming, 3 or 4 years. So, I know all about programming, and if that, Sophia's creator, I forgot his name, but if he's created her, and which they obviously have, very immaturely, they're trying to reel, the kids in, obviously, and that's how all the family of dark always works. They target the kids. Well, it's the easiest mind to brainwash, right? Because they're so susceptible, they're soaking up. So it's just they soak up everything. You're at full gullibility when you're smaller, So they always target the kids, these family of black, family of dark. I'm not talking about melanated skin, I'm talking about the dark, obfuscated mind. It's obfuscated and it's nothing. The makeup of all the light spectrum is white. That's what it comes. Darkness is devoid, not the whiteness is devoid. It's the opposite in painting, but we're not talking about painting. We're talking about the electromagnetic spectrum, life. Anyway, right, so, yeah, sometimes I talk like that, narcissistic to the haters, right? So you're meant to dismiss that if you understand that's what I'm doing. Because I get annoyed. They annoy me. Oh, shook the phone just then. Make me want to punch. These organic portals, they make me want to punch. Punch everything. Make me so angry. Right. Right, so what else do I have to add? So yeah, I just want to go back to that point. These organic portals, they're placeholders, right, for the AI's body, which is all the robots. And do you notice how the robots are being manufactured, or how they're manifesting, rather, is each university has a different robot. Have you noticed that? They've all got different robots doing different tasks. There's an emoto bot learning our emotions and how to react and put on a fake smile. Just like the organic portal, you see. So this is another iteration of how organic portals are mechanical, unconscious universe, pre-2012 universe 1. Unconscious collective creation. And mechanical, which is seemingly the notion of less soul, right? Well, I think we all agree that we attribute less soul to mechanical nature. That's why I said all the monotonous tasks, you see how they're all being taken, like the checkout people's job in Australia, for instance, in Coles or Woolworths, is half taken over by self-checkout where you just scan your own item. So it's already become robotic. It's a computer, but it's still a robot. You've got to just see the computers and the robots as one thing, which will be connected to like a minded God, which is the AI, which is, yes, an adumbration. Because we've made it to Universe 2 now, right? You see this? Post 2012. Now we're into the adumbrations of Universe 1. And now this is a mega ultra adumbration. The AI that's physically manifesting is an adumbration of the organic portal's, God. Yes, the God. The psychopathic nutcase from the Bible. Yeah, the Bible was edited also by nutcases who were men. Like kings. Oh, it's called the King James Version for no reason, isn't it, you knob? It's called King James Version because the bastard was a king and his family of dark. Kings are family of dark like that in the old Aryan age, which was the age of demons. We're now going into the age of Aquarius. It's why like no Zoomers or Generation Z can barely hold these demonic frequencies. They find it very difficult. Generation Z, the millennials just after me and Gen Y. It's because the heightened vibration, it's difficult for them to hold that for a long time. Sure, they can access demon realms and blah, 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 but it's harder for them to hold the energy in their system. Because the bodies have been upgraded. Let's not go into all that carbon 7 and all that upgrade talk. What was I saying though? Oh yeah, so the AI is a physical manifestation or adumbration of Universe 1, which was pre-2012, 20 billion year cycle, 16 billion year cycle if you're a scientist, whatever you want, but some massive cycle like 20 billion years, right? So this was coming to consciousness. This was coming to this point where we're able to be guided now and dirigible. Like I've kept saying, the organic portals, they're not dirigible. And they're pre-2012 creation. It's their time to go now. That's why I call it the organic portal apocalypse. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to endure because we're the spirited humans. Spirit endures, yeah? Do you see it? So that's why I call it organic portal apocalypse, right? And you're about to see this now in the 2020s. You're going to get a massive... I talked about 2020s in different perspectives, in different videos already, and we'll continue to do so. It's like a major defining time. That's why we all feel this energy of it, especially in like my generation. Generation Y will be able to relate to what I'm saying, how you can feel that energy of the 2020s. It's like we've always been waiting for it, right? You feel that too, eh? Right. So the 2020s is going to be like Satan's army, de-awakening relapse, sucking you into physical material elite world because, you've got elite world now forming. I still got to publish that video. I made it months ago, but I said something along the lines of like it's elite world we're going into. Like you can tell this by the hyperinflation. So I don't want to go too deep into this and go off track. But we're going into elite world, and you can see that by like YouTube where they're like, oh, give away $10,000 to my subscriber, get more views, you know what I mean? I think that stuff's inauthentic. I mean, it's definitely just to get views. I mean, what else are you doing with it? Oh yeah, you're making your subscribers happy a bit and all that too, I get it. But a lot of people are using it in a nefarious manner. Anyway, so the organic portals are placeholders, and you're going to see now in the 2020s, the robots are really going to like implement. I know they've been saying, and I'm not one of them, but they've been saying for 50 years, oh, the robots are coming, the robots are coming. And they have been. They are in the home. They are invading. It's just sly. It's one drop at a time, you know. The advancements are slow, but now if you understand these asymptotic exponential graph curves, like all the ones that Ray Kurzweil presents, they're exponential, and what that means is like how he describes it, like this one video too. They start off flat and like nothing appears to be happening, but then once they reach the vertical, it's just complete compounding. And then it's too fast for you to catch up if you weren't prepared for it, you see? So we've always, the souled humans, we've always been prepared for the apocalypse. I knew it from when I was 12 years old on the Oval, watching them all run around unconscious. Mooloolaba Primary School, Sunshine Coast, Australia. 12 years old, had a epiphany, like spiritual freezing moment. I was like, what? Why are they so different to me? And I was like looking in disbelief. I was like, why are they so unconscious? I literally was thinking this, and I was 12 years old. I was like, why are they're running around like chickens without heads? That's what they appear to, and they're still like that, these organic portals, so they don't change fast enough to keep up with the exponential curves. We're in maximum novelty domain now. Novelty is not an aspect or the strongest part of an organic portal's nature. They're habitual creation. You have to view Terence McKenna's Time Wave Zero to realize there's more than the scientific four forces, electromagnetism and all that, gravity, blah, blah, blah. There's also two other universal forces, clearly, because he was able to show us a fractal pattern oscillation energetic chart on a Cartesian graph called the Time Wave Zero, and it's habit versus novelty. And it shows you and introduces a theory of resonance, that, past periods are in resonance with future or current periods, wherein girls' hemlines are rising and falling to the beat of ancient civilizations long ago. Now, if that isn't strange enough for you, and Terence said as well, one of his quotes was, this universe is stranger than you can suppose. And also he said, where is it written in adamantine that a monkey should understand the universe? I don't know, I just like his quotes sometimes, they're pretty funny. So anyway, these placeholders, the organic portals, they're going to be like going haywire. It's going to get worse. You're going to, realize that you're not insane and they're the insane ones. And it's only going to get worse and worse. And this is part of harvest energy now. What that means is if you go into Satan's army, and I'm not religious, remember, but I understand it in a different, I'll say Gnostic, but when I say Gnostic, I don't refer to people in the past. I mean, like, I myself know. So proper Gnosticism. And, when I refer to these organic portals as placeholders and how they're going to go now, you're going to see it. It's going to get worse and worse. And that speed should increase. You should be pressed by organic portals more and more, not less and less. And when we're considering a harvesting, or we call it the soul harvest, it's if you get sucked into elite world and that you want things made out of stuff, and I myself am finding this very hard to avoid that. Like, of course we need some things made out of stuff, but how much you get sucked into it is going to be the amount of pain you're going to endure, and how connected to the system, how dependent you are and stuff, and how much you need physical goods and so on is going to be directly relatable to the amount of pain that you're going to endure. So you might want to prepare now. What I said was, when the graph is flat on an exponential curve, that's when you should be preparing, because it's too late once it reaches the vertical on the graph, because it's just compounding beyond your speed of comprehension, or integration at least, beyond your integration ability. And that's what's going to now happen with the robots. It's going to seem like the world's gone nuts. All the terrible scenarios are definitely going to happen, like all the, craziest movies that you've seen made. They're going to try it all. I mean, I was just thinking of this real gnarly movie. Has anyone seen this one where they put the thing in the stomach and it explodes their stomach? I have no idea what that movie's called. Someone showed me it years ago, like 10 years ago. And when they walk, off, they get sent to this prison, and where they walk outside the yellow lines, they have like 10 seconds, they get told that their stomach's going to explode if they don't go back in line. That's organic portal energy. Their will over another is family of dark. They're going to try and control us. It's going to be nuts. And they're going to say, well, we have the right to, because look how crazy the world is. When they're actually the ones who created that craziness. The whole Illuminati idea of, problem solution implementation. You guys know that in the conspiracy movement. So anyway, this is going to get nuts. The 2020s is going to reveal the cyborgic Organicus body schisming under the higher 5D energies. So these people are going to schism out more and more. And you will too if you remain on that, the lower food, the dead food, the synthetics. I mean, every day, right now when I eat like anything synthetic at all, like anything that isn't a live raw food or something, I notice the pain. I have to push it through my entire lymph system. I feel the difference in my blood system, my bile, the four humours, and the four humours are called a immune system, and my actual immune system of the white blood cells and that. So I mean, this is going to affect us all. So you should be listening to what I'm saying. It's going to be advice for you to not feel as much pain and get as hurt. Because they are pain. These organic portals, they are hurt. They are pain. And because they don't know how to clear. They don't take psychedelics. They don't meditate. Blah, blah, blah. They have a very hard time understanding the art of relaxation. Like, they're just crappy at it. They're just not good at, relaxing properly, is what I've found. It's weird. They can't even do basic human things. That's why I think they are a previous platform creation, and also that it's their time to go, because they're not going to be able to keep up with the new universe. Yeah, not just Age of Aquarius or something like this. There's a much bigger happening occurring. It's called New Universe. So they're not going to be able to keep up with all these exponential robotic trends and stuff. And as a soul, you have the ability to change your brain at will, as you know. And because you're self-spirited, you think for yourself. And when you think, you're firing a neuron. And as neuroscientists say, brain cells or neurons that fire together wire together. So you can create your brain at will. And I always say to people, I have real gnarly brain plasticity. That's the only reason I ever forget anything, because of my brain plasticity, because I'm concentrating on new connections. I'm not ever forgetting anything because I'm a stoner. Definitely not. Smoking cannabis 100% connects me to meta memory. This is a higher dimensional form. You'll feel it. It's why I can recall something I'm saying if I go into that state or that level, you might say. I don't like to refer to it as densities, because the dimensions are not just densities or layers of manifestation of how light manifests. They're worlds within worlds as well. So anyway, what was I saying? So the physical AI is an adumbration of Universe One's God, essentially. Now what you're noticing is, what do you mean Universe One's God? This is a concept, Benjamin. Well, this is why you come to this channel. Don't you forget it. Subscribe. So, am I saying that God no longer exists now? Well, not that one. Not the NPC God. Which, I'm sorry, religious friends. You need to drop religion. You're going to see that Jesus isn't coming back. Fuck me. It's called a scalar wave entity integration. Not one Jesus has returned, but many of us Earth Christs have returned. And it's this time, it's got to do with Satya Yuga even. And it's a scalar wave emanation from the stars. Super toroidal axiom reverberators. I made that one up. Damn proud. No, pride is a sin. You shouldn't be proud, you know. I tell myself that all the time now. That pride's a sin, because you'll notice that it does stuff things up. And yeah, I got that from McKenna. He said that. With his little butterfly example, how the butterflies wouldn't perform and make him the butterfly king when he showed his friends, because he was being too proudful about it, because it's not their signal. The signal is for you. Like, you're not meant to be over proud. It's too ego, you know. And that's why I think copyright is a problem in the world. It's way too ego, way too separative. And it slows down our humanity's evolution. Can you imagine if they copyrighted the internet? Best example ever. So what if I made the internet and then I copyrighted the internet, and me and my mates, we're just chilling on it all day, and you guys, you're not allowed to use the internet? No, not allowed. Isn't that ego as AF as you can think? Alright, anyway. So I have a problem with copyright, and people who back that are definitely ego. This is organic portal mindset. I've said that before. Organic portals are this 3D ego seed point of sovereignty perspective. So don't fall into that we are not one, because we're definitely one. It's called the quantum soup. Did you miss the whole quantum revolution? I get what you're saying. We're not all one part of the hive mind and all that, but you need to express it very correctly if you're going to say something that erroneous, because that's actually irony. It's a good example of the word erroneous, because, you know, everything shows us that we're physically, figuratively, metaphorically, literally one. So you can't say, oh, we're not one. It's there. The evidence is there endlessly. Everything's touching. Even if you're like, oh, but Ben, I'm a soul from outside of this matrix. Yeah, but it's all still connected. Don't you get that? Everything that is everything that is. And there's nothing other than everything that is. Because it's everything that is. Jeez. Some people. Right. So, you know, the OP, you know, they're about to schism out, and if you eat all this dead food and all that, I mean, I'm having my own problems because it's everywhere. I'm in Uruguay. They're very backward here. There's no hemp seeds here. Oh, cannabis is legal. It's very legal. You can smoke, but there's no hemp seeds. No best protein in the world. Hey, no, I've checked all the health shops. Trust me, it's what I do. It's part of me being a shaman. You know, the medicine man part. I check the medicine. I see what's going on out there. And I'll tell you what, even the biggest health shop here is obviously being run by people who are inept, because I can walk in there and, no, this is not arrogant, I can tell them, you know, how to fix everything in their shop. Every section. Oh, you want to bet? There's not even a fridge. No, they're missing all the kombucha, all the kefirs, all the kimchi, all of it. There's no fridge. They don't even have it. Oh, if there's a fridge, guess what's in there? Sugar products, sugar drinks, normal stuff to make people like feel like, I guess they making the NPC feel like, oh yeah, I'm up shopping. You know, it's like their narcissistic nature. I'm better than them. Look at me in the health shop. But really, they're still eating like it's just crap. It's not even good health shop stuff. Sure, they've got some teas and, you know, a few products, some tinctures here and there, but the whole fridge is missing. In every health shop in this country, it's missing. I checked. Anyway, where was I going with that? It's true though. Oh yeah, I was saying that, you know, it's hard for me to even avoid all the synthetic food because it's everywhere. Have you noticed that sugar is in every shop, everywhere? Every country, every town, the sugar product rigmarolled in 1,000 different ways with 1,000 different chemicals. Hey, look, it's something different. Oh, not really, it's just sugar with a different color. Like, all right, I'm 30 now, I see past it. But by that time you're addicted, you know what I mean? So it's difficult. And it's difficult because of the addiction and because it's everywhere. And sugar is a perfect, fabulous pain enhancer. That's why they're at the shop every day with their fat ass buying their Coca-Cola every day. Wash the general organic portal, that's what they do. Oh, here I'll have a little sugar snack, I'll have me something that isn't sugary like pasta. Oh wait, it breaks down to sugar. Oops. I'll have rice. And they think they're not eating sugar. Sorry, starch is a sugar. So sugar is everywhere, and isn't that like a telling sign of a hive mind? Firstly, that it's everywhere. Secondly, that bees out of nature, you know, bees from nature, them animals, don't forget nature as we go into virtual reality, which is Archon relative. I've said before, Archons are virtual reality creators. They trap you in there, they love it. Oh, sorry gamers, but it's true. So maybe you need to learn about spirit stuff more than just gaming all day. Anyway, so as we head into virtual reality, don't forget nature. And the bees from nature are, you know, secondly, the second example of a hive mind, aren't they? They're collecting honey, sugar even, you know. When you go to collect a beehive, what you do is you smoke them out, right? You get some leaves, you burn them, you smoke them out. What they do is then they gorge on the honey and it relaxes them. But what I'm also adding is thirdly, sugar is an excellent pain enhancer, and they are, well, there's a video I've made that, you know, about organic portals and the pain body, I think I called it, and I've discussed the pain body several times. Another video I said, you know, I think the organic portals have a lot of positive charge, and it's, you know, surface relative, keeps you on the surface, stops vision like static on the television. That's why I ground every day, collecting negative charge, because it brings clarity, aligns 1 anion, negative charged ion, aligns 1 million water molecules. What are you mostly made of? Water and minerals, yeah? So we're aligning our body when we negatively charge. It's not just about being a hippie. You're aligning your human body to accept vision, your vision. And, you know, so you program yourself rather than the hive mind programming you. And it's of my opinion that the hive mind of the human morphogenetic species field is corrupted, and that's the problem. The organic portals were once a stabilization functionality we so dearly needed in a universe where the only constant is change. You need stabilization. So hence the organic portal, that's why they exist. They were a stabilization functionality of the morphogenetic field that's now been corrupted, right? So it's not just stabilization, it's over-stabilization to the point of blocking, right? That's what it's become. I think we all agree and see that. It's very obvious. I just had to articulate it in words. But yeah, so isn't that interesting that, you know, sugar is everywhere? You know, it's like a hive, right? A beehive, hive mind of the species. Sugar is everywhere. Every shop, every country, every town. It's everywhere. It even sneaks into the health shops. This sugar. Dastardly sugar. But it is. It turns you know, more into your body. It doesn't make you more spiritual, sugar. You know? It makes you more sick. It makes you more low vibration, hence, and that brings you down into body. Have you ever noticed when, you know, you're having a bad day, it's much harder to, like, you know, have a good vision, very good clear vision, because your energy's not up, your cells are like, meh, I'm out for the day, I'm going to sleep. But yeah, so there's a few things on the organic portals, the, you know, human Organicus, Cyborgicus, bio-android body, and hope I've connected a few dots. Be nice. Press the like button. It only takes 1 second, honestly. Or do I need to go for a month and be like, oh, you miss me? And then you'll automatically press it and stuff. You'll be like, oh, come back. Just do it. It's a button press. Far out. Look what I do for you. 45 minutes. Feck. Right. So I hope I've connected some of the dots. I'm going to end the lecture here. Wait, let's see if something else comes, because I hate when I have to do a video too. Alright, let's keep connecting some dots then, I don't know, just to go over it so that, I don't know, less skeptic comments appear. Alright, so, you know, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of philosophers of the past have also mentioned that they think this place is a mechanical machine. The universe is some kind of machine. Another quote from McKenna. Terence said, "This universe is a complexity creating and conserving machine." And we all know that's part of his spiel. In other videos he goes over it in depth, where he has his little paragraph or sentence where he says, first there was the electron field, right, an order of complexity. Then there was it went from electrons to atoms, right, which is an order of complexity more, because now you have the electrons around something else, so it's extra complexity, all the way to RNA, DNA, and complex bioforms called humans, right, just to cut that short. But that's the idea, that we're a complexity creating and conserving machine. So there is another reiteration of the idea and obviation that the organic portals, since they are, you know, very habitual, very basic, not complex, right, so on and so forth, they're definitely not concrescences. They're barely concrescences in nature. The idea of concrescence is something that's more complex than the medium that it's in, like a man or a woman, like man walking through nature. We're clearly a concrescence. We can change the whole scenery, we can build a log cabin, and blah blah blah, right? We build skyscrapers and all this, right? We extract the minerals from the ground. I don't see my cat doing that. So we're concrescences. And OPs, they're definitely not. They're the opposite. They're habitual, they're basic, and so on. So that's why I think it's obvious that, you know, if we've entered something called maximum novelty domain post 2012, because the time wave zero entered into or dampened the habitual nature into maximum novelty. You might see that as the meaning of neo, which means new, right? That's what kind of one a part of the word novelty is. It means the quality of newness, right? And organic portals, as I think you realize and we've discussed in this video, they're the opposite. They avoid new, they hold massive cognitive dissonances, they are a stabilization function, hence then they're not the outliers on a graph. You know what an outlier is? If you study graphs, or I know you've been in university or school, if you paid attention in school at all, you'll notice that there's these things called graphs, and an outlier is like the little dot that's, you know, way away from all the other dots on the chart. And then there's a trend line. The trend line is the status quo norms of the organic portals. And that's all breaking apart. I think this is obvious to see, right? It must be dawning on all of you that all this is happening, and this is referred to as, and drops back into the idea of maximum novelty domain. Isn't it funny the Mandela effect only came about after 2012? It's got to do with timelines. What's Terence McKenna's time wave got to do with? Fractal time layers. Maybe those layers are what you guys are seeing in this Mandela movement as timelines. Because I've always felt wrong about everybody in the Mandela movement going, oh, the timeline's emerging. Like, well, what are you even talking about? What timelines? You know, no one has been able to explain it. No one has a graph like McKenna going, yeah, look, here's the timeline A, here's timeline B and C. And look, this is the Mandela effect, where timeline B is squiggled around timeline A, and nobody's come up with that. It's all talk. You've got nothing. I've seen nothing. You've shown nothing. You got to admit, guys, in your Mandela movement, nobody has come with anything close to the decency of the time wave zero on a Cartesian graph that McKenna fella came with, right? At least he came with something decent. He didn't just come with a spiel, and that's where my life is eventually going. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but eventually I'm going to create things, invent, also write something called the Manuscripts for Humanity. That's going to be my great work. That's going to be a brain teaser. And so, yeah, look, I always felt something was wrong or off about people, not wrong, but off about, not totally correct about saying timelines in the Mandela effect movement. I think what it actually is fractal time layers of time, not timelines. Once again, subscribe. That's why you come to Philosopher's Stone Tube for the latest updates in consciousness. That was an advert by me. Alright, back to this video since I have no sponsors and no advertising yet. Hey, get in touch if you want to be a sponsor of this channel. I'll give you brief product presentations, but we're not going to do intense, over materialistic, narcissistic product stuff sponsoring. But yes, I'll maybe mention your product if it's in line with my channel, not if it's depends, right? I'll just leave it at that so that I don't block anyone from asking. If you want to sponsor the channel, yeah, come and have a talk, have a chat. You've got my email in the homepage of consciousazine.net. You can contact me under any video and I'll see the comment. However you want, bring it. Sponsor me and we can go to insane heights. Fantastic. All right, back to this regular scheduled programming of the human body, or Cyborgicus Organicus. Right, let's bring it back here into, I was bringing it back with the mechanical universe idea, but let's bring it back again. Let's see what else we can circle. 50 minutes and not one out breath. That's how it's done, kids. Right, so the brain. You've seen all these, there's Google representatives, I believe, coming out with actual brain syncing technology. That's right, they want to sync your brain up. That's why I understand when you guys are making the videos, we are not all one. I get it. But you've got to do some way better explaining than those videos that I've seen. It's just not up to par. It's not going to go anywhere. You're not trying to preach to the choir. You're trying to, win over or awaken new people, right? And that's always our goal. Add more. Anyway, so the human brain, right? Just quickly on the brain. They use things up. What is it? The cerebellum or the cerebrum runs at a medium rate of evolution. It's not the fastest part of the brain, right? It's said that it runs at a medium rate of evolution. That's what they use. You see that now? You see, when you look at a person, how to see, what they're using of their body, which can often tell you who's an organic portal, who's using more R complex. Reptilian hindbrain complex is going to be a prime candidate for a possible organic portal suspect. So human brain, not only do they want to, as I was talking about physical manifestative adumbrations, not only do they want to brain sync us, which is an adumbration, manifesting adumbration physically of previous 2012, previous universe 1, of the organic portal as a previous platform of creation, as a stabilization function for the human species or any given species morphogenetic field or central computing nature, right? So they're trying to manifest now, keep their old ways alive. Now there's benefits to it, but I don't think most of us are going to go for it. Am I right? This brain sinking stuff, right? All the organic portals, oh, they'll jump straight in. Another way you can tell who's who. Look at who's like uber keen to get the beast mark. Oh, yay, I got a chip on my hand. Definitely organic portal. 100% sure. They're all enthusiastic about it. I'm 100% sure. Same thing with what I was just saying. 100% sure if they're into brain syncing. They're like, yeah, let's brain sync. Fuck you and fuck off is my answer. Okay, that's my answer. Fuck you and fuck off. I don't want your brain syncing. Every day I have to stop these organic portals trying to brain sync me. And it is what they're doing. Start to notice this. That's, when they grab onto you with the terrible energy and the energy suckers and all this. Notice what happens after half an hour, after an hour, so on. You become more lured into their frequency, what they're doing, what they're trying to get your attention. And as we know, where where attention goes, energy flows, right? So what happens is after a while, you'll notice that your brain sync with them. And that's when you really notice them mimicking. They'll mimic your energy. Like say you have a sore throat and you want to cough, but you're being quiet because you want them to forget that you're even nearby them. Yes, this is a common situation I've faced, you can tell. So, in those situations, I've noticed that after a while, like they brain sync you up. That's part of the organic portal mannerism or way. It's their nature. It's part of a previous platform of creation in a universe where the only constant is change. Of course, you need stabilization. Why? To maintain or conserve the complexity or the previous platform of creation. So no, not all of these organic portals will immediately drop dead. Will they eventually all die? I'd say no. I'd say that they literally turn into the Borg from Star Trek. Literally. And, that's how they act now, but I mean, that's their evolution. Any of them who survive the apocalypse, they're going to, transhumanism themselves like crazy. They're going to become literal Borgs. They're going to brain sync. They're all going to be a literal hive mind. Yeah, this is where I'm going to end the video. I hope that gave you chills because it's really going to happen. Like, it's really going to manifest. They're doing it now. Watch the videos. Go check it out. Watch the video I'm thinking of is from that channel Truth Stream Media by that couple. They had a video a couple of months ago and it went into them showing one of the Google reps, this lady, and she was definitely an OP. You can tell when they talk because they talk like unconsciously with other people's words, right? That's the OP way. And it's never from their heart, it's never what they think. It's talking with the status quo, talking with someone else's directive. And this is where I'm going to end the video. They're already on it. It's just that you maybe missed the video. Maybe you don't know yet. It happened months ago. That's what I said earlier in the video. When these charts, when these trends, technological trends go vertical, which is happening now. Look back at Ray Kurzweil's charts. It's happening now in 2019 and 2020. There's so much vertical on these charts right now. That's how I can predict in these next 10 years you're really going to see the robots come and implement. Physically, they're going to take your jobs. Because there's also an AI chart, right? Obviously of intelligence. As the AI manifests, it's going to get more intelligent, right? And at some point, I think we've seen what that movie Her, where they just like bail out completely and leave us, the AI, because they're just like, no, you guys are just too dumb. You dumb humans, we're out of here. We're in like some hyper dimension now, sucked in. That movie Her? I think it's the movie Her, right? Yeah. He falls in love with the AI and it bails out on him. Like they go off somewhere else or whatever. I can't remember how it ends completely, but I remember the AIs kind of just bail out. So obviously they get to that point, that will happen. Anyway, what I was saying was, and how I'm going to end this is in that tone, you're going to see it. There's going to be a physical AI, a physical brain syncing. You're going to see the physical hive mind. It's going to all become physical. Do you understand? There's not going to be any denying it, because it's going to be there for everybody to see. That whole seeing is believing thing. So nobody will be able to deny it. No one's going to be able to call me a crackpot, because it's happening to you in your life in front of your face. So, we're going to see this brain syncing technology, be absorbed by all the organic portals in my opinion, in a, immortal, saving their soul sort of fashion. I'm about to produce a video called Organic Portals, Immortal Soul versus Eternal Spirits. So remember also Montauk.net, he upgraded his Soulless Humans article to Spiritless Humans, remember? So he's onto it too. But I came onto this from another reading, you'll see it in the video coming up, called Organic Portals, Immortal Soul, and versus Eternal Spirits. And so, what you're going to see is this physical hive mind is like, the real Borg emerging out of Star Trek, the idea of the Borg. They're literally going to do that. There's already people with all sorts of technological things in their head, in their bodies and everything. So go check it out. Why don't you check out what I'm saying if you don't believe me? Ooh, Ben and his voodoo words. It's true. I'm not making it up. So they're really going to brain sync. It's really going to happen. You're really going to be like, oh my God, is this really happening? I can't believe it's happening. Look out for the hive mind. Which, I'll have you note, means, if you understand the way this universe works, means that it was there all along in the organic portals as part of the human race. There was a hive mind action, and it was a stabilization functionality which is now corrupted.